This is the Volvo Moose getting soaked, but Volvo sometimes sends that out to their customers. And we are appraising this vehicle today, an XC60, 2019 Momentum T5, I believe. Indeed, T5 with black exterior, black interior, and it is a service car. You have the upgraded rims there. We do have, back then they let you have cloth seats. This one has the upgraded leather seats. And what we're gonna do is appraise the vehicle. I was told that the tires were changed and they look pretty good. So yeah, they certainly pass. If they were in yellow, they would not. Kind of slipped there. Okay, nothing happened, but yeah, very slushy weather today. Look at that. That is the old Momentum, where not very many had this screen. Usually it's the dual dials. This one's just one. I kind of like it because it's so rare to find these. It's so difficult, and it's just so different. Plus, it's just one dial. The most important stuff right there: how fast you're going, how much miles you have left in the gas tank in both areas, your trip, and your odometer. This one is at 51,557. So overall, you know, looks pretty good. The condition on the interior, nothing, you know, there's no burns, there's nothing crazy going on. All of these vehicles, you know, if you took a look at my vehicle right now, there would be a lot of components lying around and pretty dirty. We never take that into account. What we do take into account is, okay, there's salt, there's all-weather floor mats. That's great, that's fantastic. If you had no floor mats, or ones in like my Volkswagen where they're not matching and they're smaller and you have salt in the carpets, if it's really bad, if it causes staining, that we would take into account. We don't penalize if your car's dirty unless it's very, very dirty. And by very dirty, we've had cases where, you know, there's Cheerios that are 6 months old that are in grain and goldfish and like all over. Not just a couple, but all over. The seats are completely trashed. I mean, we've seen some bad cars, but this one looks pretty good. What's interesting is kind of the brushed metal here. That's usually in the base models. The cores have that right now. I actually prefer this. We have some clients that only want the metal. They don't want cores, but they prefer it. And, you know, it's a toss between there. Check that out. Swedish flag over there. Swedish flag over here. Overall, looks pretty good. Our system was saying that this vehicle is probably worth this amount, and we are checking to see if it is worth that amount. This vehicle would probably retail, I don't know, it's tough to say, but maybe if it is worth what that system is saying, we always have to add in probably like an extra 1,000, 2,000, depending on the condition, depending on what it needs. I don't know. I'm not the full manager that appraises this vehicle, but you know, probably this vehicle would be selling mid-20s, maybe less, possibly less, you know, maybe 22, 23, 24, I don't know. So with everything, it looks good for now. We're going to go back. We're going to put it into our system. We're going to call the client, and if the client likes it, then great, we go from there. If not, you know, at least it's a free appraisal. We always encourage it. Trade-ins, dealerships will always be less than private party, but there's also convenience to it. We've had clients that have tried selling private party, and unfortunately, it's not like in Poland where I was at, where there's mainly private party deals and very rarely trade-ins and whatnot. I had a completely different experience over there where I tried getting rid of a vehicle that I couldn't even sell through private parties, and dealerships didn't want to take it. It was just a completely different experience where, you know, people just don't go to dealerships to trade in or sell their cars. It's just super strange. They didn't even want to take it. And it's not like one dealership too. No, it's like I called 5, 6 in the area, and it was an older vehicle, but here at least they give you something, you know, scrap metal, whatever. Nobody wanted it there. Private party was the way we had to get rid of it, and ultimately we were able to do it. But over here, it's problematic mainly because a lot of people have finance loans. So this vehicle is still being paid off. There's a either positive equity amount or negative equity amount. In this case, it's positive equity, and then there's a fair amount of that, and that's why this client's interested. But there's cases where, you know, someone's negative $10,000, $15,000, kind of like my case, where you're stuck in that car and are going to be stuck in it until you're getting close to the very end of your payments, probably right around there. So really very cool. We take a look. Yeah, I prefer, honestly, the way the old system looks. It's a very interesting experience, although a lot of people do complain about maps. Now, in this case, this one does not have any maps, because usually it would be there. But very, very cool. That's kind of different. Eject. That's kind of cool. This one's a B6 right next to it. Obviously, larger rims. This one has the dark theme, where this one, there was no themes back then, but the chrome. The exhaust tips are completely different. This is hidden, but it's under there. It's some small, minor changes, but not that much, honestly, from the exterior. The rails also dark. One thing I've noticed is it's not locking for whatever reason. It is flashing to unlock, but it doesn't want to lock, which could be the key fob. I mean, that's a little interesting. We will take note of that. One other thing to note is that this one has an L starting with the VIN, where these, it's just Y. Y for Sweden, L for China. This was one of the few that were produced in China before they flipped, so now it's only the S90s that are produced in China. Not all, but most of them. It is kind of hard to see any scratches or anything, but honestly, it does look to be in good condition, and nothing really stands out from immediate. I was able to lock it, it's not the key. Someone left the door like that, so you can barely see it, but it's all good. Honestly, looks pretty clean. Usually there could be stuff right around, you know, sometimes underneath here, whatever, but nothing pops out. Honestly, looks pretty good. There could be, oh, there we go, you know, small stuff like that, nothing too crazy. It's not going to impact the value a whole lot. We will take note of that. But you know, that's just dirt. Yeah, nothing really pops out. You know, small scratches like that. Nope, that's not a scratch. See, wipes right off. That's just dirt. Honestly, it looks good. Big thing is small scratches there. Again, not a huge difference, but a lot of people, rings, and for females specifically, they have diamonds. You open it, a lot of older cars, it is scratched up completely. This one's not bad at all. Some are where, you know, it's all over here and there. Common stuff. Sometimes there's rocks that may chip over here if there's no kick flaps. It looks good.